Billionaire investor Chamath Palihapitiya is clarifying. People always clarify. Remarks that he made over the weekend that unleashed social media backlash on his podcast. He said, nobody cares about human rights abuses against the Uyghurs in China. He said, I'd rather not lie to you and tell you the truth. It's not a priority for me. He said something like there are all these things that he worries about and that didn't come close to making the list. Why would it, though? If you haven't been to China, you're not a Uyghur, haven't seen what's happening, I guess it's easy to just compartmentalize that. And maybe if you don't believe it. If you don't believe it's happening, fine. But if you really do know what's happening, would you really say something like that? In a tweet last night, he said, in re-listening to this week's podcast, I recognize that I come across as lacking empathy. I acknowledge that entirely. To be clear, my belief is that human rights matter, whether in China, the United States, or elsewhere, full stop. Okay. But I thought it was just kind of weird, guys, that there are a lot of basketball fans, I guess. In China, there's more basketball fans than we have people in the United States. There's got to be something to that when you have seen. But no, maybe not in this case. Maybe not in this case. Right. But in the Houston Rockets case and in some of the other things that we've seen, there's just no doubt. Well, Andrew, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. At least there was some rationale for him saying that. Otherwise,
I watched it. No. Watch
I don't know how you clarify it because I watched it. I did. I went back and watched it.
Becky's watched it. If you look at it, there's no denying what he's meaning.
Right.
And there's no denying
he wasn't
actually that the
to...
apology can't even be an apology based on what he said.
If you watch the entire tape, it started with him saying, I'm more concerned about grocery store shelves not having things on them. And then as one of the other hosts was kind of beating up on him, like, are you kidding me? You can't say this. How can you say this when this is like the equivalent of 1 million people, potentially 300,000 to 1 million people being... And he started backtracking a little at that point, saying, well, until we fix things here in this country, you can't say anything about any other country. But you could see he said something, got beat up about it for that, started backpedaling on the podcast, and then this statement coming out to clarify something last night was... very different than what he intentionally said at the beginning.
Look, we're all, as I've said, if there wasn't that quote in The Godfather, I don't know what I'd say, but we're all part of the same hypocrisy. I don't spend every day thinking about children starving in Africa, and we should. And we don't do nearly enough. We live in these these beautiful places and have none of the problems that a lot of people have, and we don't spend all our time thinking about them. So I understand. But that doesn't make me feel good about not thinking about it all the time. I realize that we probably should, and you could devote your life to issues like this, but I don't understand that comment at all. I guess if you just really want to be honest, that all of us could be doing a lot more to help those that need help.
He wasn't saying it like that, though.
How the hell would... Okay, then we're all agreeing on this, that's just... That's a weird person to be. I wouldn't want to be that person, I guess.